Hi, I'm Karina, a self-taught traditional and digital artist from Jamaica. I recently did this acrylic painting, which I love, but I made one fatal mistake. So because it's been so long since I made a painting, I totally forgot how to seal one. And I kinda ruined it. See the difference? And fun fact, I didn't realize that it was my incorrect way of sealing the painted that had caused it. It was actually during a call I had with my father, and I was telling him what happened, and he said, "You're actually supposed to do it layer by layer." And he's not even an artist, and I was like, "Wait, you're actually correct. That is the correct process." It somehow slipped my mind. I was so excited to seal it. I did everything one time, like a big spray. But yeah, so I decided that I was going to redeem myself with a new painting. Yeah, so in today's video, I will be doing another painting and following the correct process. Will this work out or will this be another fail? Let's find out. Alright, so I will be painting this guy today. I was really inspired by the previous painting I made, so I wanted to paint another guy because I hardly do. And speaking of inspiration, I was not only inspired to paint what I am doing right now, but also to paint in general. During that other painting that I showed before, something different happened. That painting was approached quite differently from my previous paintings. I had a different mindset and my priorities were different. So, what do I mean? I normally go into paintings trying to conserve my paint for some reason. It's just that habit I've had since I was young. It's something that I even have like outside of painting with art supplies and so forth. But I tend to try and preserve something. When in fact I did get these paints to paint. So why am I not doing that? I just used what I needed. And if that meant going over a painted surface with another color, I did just that. I wasn't worried about preserving the paint because at the end of the day, they do get spoiled after a while. So why not use it while it's still good? And what I meant when I said priority, I meant that my main goal wasn't to keep the sketch that I made. At the end of the day, it's painting, it's where I'm able to create something even better than the sketch I made. It's almost like I'm sculpting. So if I lose a certain detail or a certain lightness in that sketch that I wanted to keep in the painting, I'm still able to add it. It's not that serious, and that's what I really want to remind myself about. I also wanted to stop shying away from using different colors. So that's why his skin is also blue. I tend to avoid using the color blue for some reason. And, it's kind of weird for me to say that because I'm looking at a few of my paintings right now and they all have some type of blue in it. So that's weird. Why do I think that? Or is it a case where I want to avoid it, but I still add it? Yes, all my paintings have blue on it. So that's kind of crazy. And I can say the same thing about orange and green. I tend to avoid those colors, but now I don't think I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna use any color I have, work with any ideas that comes up in my mind, and just bring them all to life because it's art. And I also want to stop rushing myself when it comes to art. In this painting and the previous one that I made, which I am still in love with even though I messed it up, I really just took my time. And me taking my time really made me feel so peaceful and happy. I really found some new love for painting. To be honest, I like how it looks when I do it, but I don't always enjoy the process. And with that painting, I really did. And I can say the same about this painting as well. I really enjoyed the process. And I can even talk about this part right here. So for some reason in my mind just said paint the background pink, and I was like, pink? That's a bit risky. So I actually paused for a bit there. It's not in the video, but I did pause for a bit and really was just contemplating whether or not I should really use that pink. And I was like, you know what? It is what it is. I'm going to use that pink. If I don't like it, I can still cover it. Remember, I'm not trying to conserve paint anymore. And me saying that I'm not trying to conserve paint doesn't mean that I'm going to waste it, but it means that I'm going to do or use, what I need to make me love the painting that I'm creating. That should make sense. At this point of this painting, I didn't like how his face looked, but looking at it now, it looked amazing. So I can say that this is where it went a bit downhill. I went a bit crazy with the paint. I just couldn't find the correct color that I mixed to get his skin tone. So I had to go over everything. And I'm gonna say that it's my fault that this happened, because what I really should have done was give it some time and then go back to it, because sometimes I get a bit too judgmental when it comes to my art pieces, and that's literally what happened. So a lot of changes were made to that face. I didn't realize it then, but I really missed how it looked before. And don't get me started on that jewel thing he has on his cape. I don't know what I was thinking. I really should have committed to looking at a reference when I was painting that. But I really couldn't bother with that. So I decided to ignore that for now. Touched up his background. And at this point, I was also watching one of my favorite YouTubers who makes the best comedy on YouTube in my opinion, and that's Sam Speedy. Wait, can I show that in the background? I'm not sure. Would I be copyrighted? Well, I'll just cover it just in case. But yeah, you can check him out. His name is Sam Speedy. And I've been watching him from, let me see. Wow, from when I was in the 9th grade. That's a couple years ago. That's before COVID. I want to say 29. Well, actually, that was 2018. I've been watching him since 2018. 7 years. Wow, I've never thought about it before. That's amazing. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Let's get back to what's on screen, because I'm actually almost finished. Now I was focusing on the highlights on his face. Alright, so I just did a few more tweaks to the background. Not that it really needed it, but I couldn't stop myself. And after doing all that, for some reason, I still couldn't stand how he looked. So I tweaked him a bit. And I'll show you guys in a second. I hope he doesn't look worse, but here he is. So because I didn't like how he looked, I went around just asking for a few critiques here and there. And this is what I came up with all their advice, them being my family. Well, so at this point I was done. All I needed to do was place my signature on my painting. And then it was time for the final reveal. At least before I sprayed it. And I'll show you that in just a second. And here he is once I sealed it. This time I followed the correct process and I actually like it. And that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you guys in the next. Bye!